As the closing date of a resale home purchase draws near, I sometimes get that frantic call from my buyer clients about what the final amount they need to be paying and closing costs are. They haven't heard back from their real estate lawyer regarding the total amount due, and this can cause them a lot of anxiety. Now, in these situations, the buyer's lawyer is usually waiting for the statement of adjustments from the seller's lawyer, and the most common item that needs to be adjusted is the property taxes that the seller has prepaid. I've also come across cases where buyers who were not my clients were actually unaware of the existence of closing costs after making an offer on a resale property. Now, they mistakenly believed that their down payment funds were the only expenses involved. I believe some of this confusion stems from the rule that allows first-time home buyers to use a portion of their RSP for both the down payment and closing costs, perhaps leading buyers to think that this is an all-in-one expense. Hi and welcome. I'm Arlene Monzar, a dedicated realtor in the Toronto market with over a decade of experience in the field. In this video, I'll be uncovering those 5 closing costs you need to know about when buying in the City of Toronto. What are closing costs? In the City of Toronto, closing costs are those expenses that need to be paid to finalize the purchase of a resale home. It's important for me to note that these closing costs are separate from your purchase price, and it's your down payment that's allocated towards the purchase price itself. According to CMHC, when purchasing a resale property, home buyers are advised to allocate funds equivalent to 1.5% to 4% of the purchase price for closing costs. However, it's important to note that these costs vary depending on whether or not you're a first-time home buyer, because first-time home buyers qualify for certain rebates. Your real estate lawyer will be responsible for calculating and applying these rebates on your behalf. To give you a general idea, let's consider an example of an $800,000 purchase price for a resale home. In this case, you would need to allocate between $12,000 and $32,000 for closing costs according to CMHC. Now that depends on your eligibility as a first-time homebuyer. Realistically, a qualified first-time homebuyer in Toronto purchasing an $800,000 property can expect to pay around $20,000 in closing costs, taking into account their rebate of approximately $8,500. It's important to consult with your real estate lawyer to get accurate calculations and ensure that you have a clear understanding of the closing costs specific to your situation. If you're finding this information to be helpful, I encourage you to show your support by liking this video and by subscribing to my channel, and I do thank you for your support. Toronto is the only city in North America with a double land transfer tax when purchasing a home. As a buyer, you pay both municipal and provincial land transfer taxes. The Toronto Land Transfer Tax is charged on all home purchases within the boundaries of the City of Toronto, as seen in this map here. How is your rate calculated? The Toronto Land Transfer Tax is a marginal tax, and each portion of your property's value is taxed at its own marginal tax rate, as seen in this table here. As a first-time home buyer, you will be eligible for a rebate of up to $4,475, and your real estate lawyer will calculate what is payable. When you acquire land or a beneficial interest in land, you pay land transfer tax to the province when the transaction closes. So how is this tax calculated? The PLTT will be charged on a graduated basis depending on the value of consideration paid for the property. Your real estate lawyer will calculate what tax is payable on the closing of your home purchase. For qualified first-time home buyers, there is a maximum $4,000 tax refund on the Ontario land transfer tax. If you're finding this video to be helpful and would like more information regarding the Toronto real estate market, feel free to go to my website and download my 2023 Toronto Real Estate Market Guide, How to Succeed in Today's Market. The link to my website is in the description below. What is the Statement of Adjustments? This is a document much like a bank statement, typically provided by the seller's lawyer to the buyer's lawyer, outlining the purchase price, deposit amount, mortgage and utilities related to the property. The Statement of Adjustments is used to determine the final payable amount the buyer owes the seller in order to complete the purchase of the property. If the seller of the home you're purchasing has prepaid property taxes, condo fees, or utility expenses beyond the closing date, the buyer is responsible for reimbursing the seller for these costs. You will require the services of a real estate lawyer to complete the closing of your home. They will ensure the transfer of ownership to you and a clear title to the property. The fees charged by real estate lawyers can vary depending on the complexity of the work. They may charge a flat rate or an hourly rate, and the price point of the property can influence the costs involved. Generally, costs can range from anywhere $1,000 to $5,000 or higher plus HST. Important to note that title insurance may not be included in the lawyer's fee. This is an additional cost that typically ranges between $250 and $500 plus HST. If you purchased a condominium, there may be an additional charge for your lawyer to review the status certificate on your behalf. This is a separate service provided to ensure that you have a clear understanding of the condo's financial and legal status. Disbursements can include courier fees, banking charges, and title searches. It's advisable to discuss the fees and services with your real estate lawyer in advance to have a comprehensive understanding of the cost associated with your particular transaction. While some costs, such as moving expenses, are expected and should be factored into your budget, there are always unexpected incidental costs that can arise at the last minute. It's important to consider other incidental expenses that may come up. By ensuring buyers are well informed about those additional costs upfront, I endeavor to help alleviate those feelings of being overwhelmed and to better prepare my buyers for that lengthy home buying process. If you're thinking that this is the year to make that move to the City of Toronto, whether you're that first-time home buyer, you're wishing to upsize or downsize your current home, or you're relocating to Toronto for the first time, please feel free to reach out directly to me to arrange a Zoom call to discuss your current situation. My contact information is in the listing description below. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you.